Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Seke broadcast. No, God, I haven't said that in like 7 years. I haven't really recorded like a proper video in a really long time. But I feel like, and this is going to be really sappy, one of my friends, I always make fun of him because, we're just buddies like that. And I feel like I give him a lot of shit because he's super ADHD and I'm a very methodical person. But together, we have accidentally come across the perfect game for him to play. So I really, as someone who is proud of his accomplishments and the fact that I had any part in them at all, I wanted to share this. Even if it doesn't get a lot of views, I can at least share it with, a bunch of the buddies and stuff in our Discords and some moots. But this is for fibers, hypers, whatever you want to call them. My amazing, insanely ADHD friend. This is Satisfactory. And I want to show you guys, I'm going to start with some of the ugly stuff that I've built, then some of the cool stuff that I've built, the incomplete stuff, and then I'm going to show you some of the amazing stuff that I've built and that he has built, because it is amazing. And to just, pat my own back here, a lot of the stuff that he's did is either inspired by some of my work or I had some little part in, but honestly, and I've already said this to him a couple weeks ago when we were working on one of the biggest projects on here. I just felt like, I have to be that guy and actually give credit where credit is due and make sure that he understands me. And I sat there for like 5 minutes and I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, do you hear me? This is fucking awesome. You did an amazing job. I never expected you to do something this fucking cool, to take the time and effort to design something this awesome. And some of the really crazy Satisfactory players and some of the people who watch a lot of those crazy Satisfactory players, like, this isn't going to be anything new. It's going to be way below, the upper threshold. But I think if there was like a competition for either builds, blueprints, or entire servers for Satisfactory, we would be like in the top 20. Nowhere near the top 10, probably, because I've seen at least 10 YouTubers that have some crazy stuff built, and it's so awesome. But as someone who gives up on things a lot because it gets really annoying, or tries to find the simplest path to making things look good but also be productive, because I play a lot of games like Satisfactory and a lot of open world crafting games where building is like a big part of it, at least if you're a designer type person like I am. It's insane to be friends with someone who, whenever we play games like Rust, he cannot sit still for literally, like, I shit you not, literally 5 seconds. He actually cannot sit still for 5 seconds. He's the most ADHD person that I've ever met. As someone with a background in psychology, a degree in psychology, I literally don't think his case, in some instances that I've personally known him and been there for, would even, like, the book cases wouldn't compare to him. It's really funny, and this is what I mean. I keep giving him shit, but I just want to, like, give an example for anyone watching that, this is not something I would ever expect from him. I never thought he'd be able to play a game like Satisfactory, let alone for like 200 hours in the last month or two. He has gone off. It's really awesome, and I feel the need to share this because it's so cool. And I had a small part in it. Like, I think I said in my Discord, like, I'm just happy to have done like 10% of what's on here. And to give a little bit more backstory, so this world started as one of our buddies, Barracks. It was his personal save, and he just left his PC on for like a week. And then finally, because of updates and stuff, because 1.0 came out, and there's been like 4 or 5 patches, and even if he has the game running, if we patch when we start the game, start Epic Games or whatever, and we patch it, we can't join him, so then he has to be up, which we're all in different time zones. So it's difficult. So finally, Fiber took it upon himself to make a dedicated server and set it up and everything. And so we took the save from Barracks and we put it on here, and that's where we started. Barracks had 4 or 5 people join him over the course of about a week and a half. I want to say like 8, 9 days, maybe 10 days. I don't think it was like 10 days because I joined like the third or fourth day of the server. But because we didn't really have anyone that he was like really good friends with actually playing, he got people from like the Satisfactory Discord and other randoms, as we called them for a while, because we don't really know any of them. And they made a lot of little factories and stuff, but it was really horrible, including the HQ, as we're calling it now, like the spawn area. We started in the desert, and I'll go ahead and show you the map right now. It's really, really cluttered, and I'm not even going to try to explain the map, but if you're a Satisfactory player, you might kind of understand some of the ways that we have things marked if you look at where certain things are on the map and stuff. But HQ is here at this lake in the desert, or well, I guess one of the 2 deserts. I'm not really sure what the areas are called because I know that there's the desert over here too. But yeah, so that's where we started, and that was actually our 3rd save. Because finally Barracks was like, okay, I'm gonna start this save because the save that we had with another friend, he wouldn't keep his PC on or something. I can't remember why, but he was hosting. Then Barracks started one, and then that one for some reason he restarted. I don't remember why, because we got kind of far, I guess far, quote unquote. We got to like phase 5. And then he started a new one again, and I joined. I was doing some other stuff, but I ended up joining like I said, like the 4th or 5th day of the save. And he had been playing with a bunch of other randoms. And these people had been setting up a lot of stuff on the server and a lot of things that we have since removed a vast majority of, but a lot of it is still there, and it's a lot of really random things. But the HQ, the spawn where we had the hub and the elevator, it was disgusting. Like there was we're big on making things be on the same grid, and this was before we figured out about the world grid. So we actually would pull, and you'll see a couple instances of this. We pulled from the main platform at the HQ a line of foundations, so that whenever we built at the end of that foundation, it was on the exact same grid as the HQ. It just makes things look clean from a bird's eye view. But you're gonna find out anything but clean. I'm currently at one of the 2 worst setups that I've made, and I'm not gonna show you guys anything that I have built. I, for instance, have a whole factory over here where there's this large amount of iron in the plains, or whatever it's called. I think there's some stuff built over here. There's some stuff built over here. And then there's some stuff built over here. I'm not going to show you guys any of that. I'm not going to show you guys anything over here or over here in the cave, but I'll try and show you guys this, the islands, which we call Milan because there was a train station that had like the name Milano, and we kept calling it Milan because that's just, a word that we actually know. Well, I'm going to try to explain each area when I get there. But just the history of the server. So all these people were like screwing stuff up. Barracks actually put the save into a website where you look at the hard drives and things that you've collected, the special things, the hard drives, the power slugs, the Mercer spheres, and the Summers loops. And we, for some reason, didn't have all of them that were already collected. So I ended up one day, probably like the 10th day of the save, after these guys hadn't really shown up anymore, running around and killing all of them and then looting them, and pretty much every single one of them had something on them. But we pretty much went through all their shit, destroyed it, rebuilt a lot of it, left a lot of it in ruins, because we weren't really using those resources and we didn't want the power getting siphoned off. So there's a lot of things that are really disgusting looking, including obviously the exploration of the map. We have a lot of things like just pillars and big ramps and foundations everywhere. So the map still isn't, clean, quote unquote. But when it comes to everything in the spider forest over here, everything up here, like pretty much this whole, let me see if I can get like a nice, so this whole area here, we have like everything in, all hard drives, all Summers loops, everything like that. And then we have a lot of this explored. This is explored pretty well, but you know, there's a lot of things like blue slugs, yellow slugs I didn't really pick up because we have a whole thing set up where, which you'll see later, and I'll talk about that later. But just know that we haven't really collected everything. We've collected a lot. And as you can see on the top right, we are completing phase 4 is our thing. And we're actually almost done with that. In terms of like the things needing to be built, we have the machines pretty much going. And then leading edge production, I think, is one of the last 2 that we need before phase 9. So we're almost at all the alien tech and stuff like that, which I don't know really much about it. But let me start off. Okay, so this area here is called, I forget what I called it. I think it's just something simple. Yeah, this is, okay, this is cooling system. So this is, I'm making cooling systems over here. And the reason is this is so ugly is because I was just trying to get some of the chapters and stuff done, so I didn't really make it look good. Do I have an entrance into this? It's horrible. I tried to make it look good, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I need more room, and I just didn't want to mess with it, so it's pretty ugly. And I did the same thing with the I do not have an entrance, but it's just really hollow and there's nothing in there versus like the other places that you'll see. It's disgusting. And I wanted to show like the worst stuff and explain it, but I was just trying to finish up one of the chapters of the phases or something. I forget why I needed cooling systems, but yeah. So I have those producing here, and then I have drones flying everything in that needs to be flown in, including water, like literally just water. I have packaged water coming in to turn into just water. And then, funny enough, I have a like proper power setup. Oh, I need a thing to see it. I think it's downstairs. Excuse my runny nose. Okay, I think it's inside. We're gonna have to just cut in. What? There it is. So this is my power thing. And we actually have like a proper circuit set up. Fibers was doing some stuff when I was playing the Diablo season, but yeah, I have a lot of this set up, and you can see we have a lot of things. Now, a lot of this is also in the same area, so you'll see things like Milan Islands, you'll see HQ, anything that has a really specific name is also pretty much featured at the HQ. So like the investment bureau that's at the HQ, that's something I'm going to show you guys later. That's one of the couple of things I had a major hand in rather than just a light guiding hand. And even that wasn't even fully me. It was like 20 or 30% me. The rest of it was Robin. You guys probably, if you've seen my streams and some other videos, you know Robin. But yeah. Me and Robin came up with something really similar on my personal save whenever we couldn't play with the other guys. And then we expanded on it, built on it, and Fibers helped out, and Barracks helped out a little bit, and it was like a community project. But mainly Robin's the mastermind behind that. Like I'd say he did at least 60 or 70% of it. I'd say more if it wasn't that me and Fiber did a lot of the overall designing, whereas he did the mechanical, Robin did the mechanical stuff, and then Barracks was there for the overview input, because technically Barracks is the CEO. This whole save is called Amazon HQ or something like that. Oh, it doesn't say because it's not like the personal save anymore. But yeah. And then in that thing I was trying to show you guys, if you didn't see it, we have these things called poop chutes, and that's what the railguns are, whatever you want to call them. I thought it was just funny because we're supposed to be a company. I thought it was really funny to have something that, you know, just resembled a product. So for one of the things that I have blueprinted, oh, please excuse my nose. Oh my goodness. One sec. Oh my god. I don't know why. That was so disgusting. Holy shit, excuse me. I thought it'd be funny to have like a product. And so we went with, or I went with the poop chute. And it's one of the things that I blueprinted. I wanted a long distance one, but if like we need really long distance, then we can line two of them up. So I call it the poop chute. The, blueprint doesn't have it, but everywhere else it has the little TM marker that you use the alt codes to get. Or, well, I guess if you're just a regular person, you copy and paste it. But I'm pretty sure the alt code is, like 1603, like 0163 or something like that. If you don't know what alt codes are, then you're very young and ignore me. Okay, so try to ignore everything that I fly past. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how the disgusting production down here. That is our encased uranium rods. So I have uranium coming all the way from the spider forest down to here, coming into the blender. Blender is going off and doing its thing and making encased uranium cells. Yeah. These are pretty backed up because this doesn't seem to want to run. So I've done a horrible job of yeah, it can't unload. I wonder why. I've done a horrible job with the drones. I need to work on those more. But yeah, this is just another one of my disgusting builds. Just wanted to show this, you know, so I could show some of the things that I've built and that has become acceptable on the server. Although I try to at least make things mathematically correct and as compact as possible. These couple of things that I built here in this forest and all these rocks and everything are just disgusting. And that is not indicative of our entire build. That's the whole reason why we like stopped playing with those other guys, is because they're making just weird, disgusting stuff that was not really what we wanted to do. Of course I failed that. Well, I guess we're gonna run. I like set that up so that most of the time I can just fly through these rocks. It's a really cool thing, and I was hoping to do it so that you guys could see it. But I'm not gonna run back because I'm already embarrassed. But yeah. So welcome to Milan Islands. And again, I'm just gonna give the reasonings on things and how things work whenever I get there. So, Milan Islands. We had a train station when we were working on the original trains. I think it was Milano or Malino or something. I don't know what it was exactly, but we just kept calling it Milan, so we named it Milan. And then I kept calling this the Oil Islands, so it eventually just became Milan Islands. Now this is the highway. This is actually like fully blueprinted. This is something that I helped Fibers with, but he, like I said, he primarily worked on this. That was what I was talking about earlier whenever I, like, you know, was praising him like a crazy proud father. Because I wanted him to know, like, he did an amazing job, and it's something I would never expect someone that has his disposition to accomplish. He did a fucking awesome job, and it makes me super proud to be his friend and to have helped him in the slightest, because I kind of just helped with the design. He did like the majority, like 90% of the highways and everything he did, like maybe even more than 90%. I was just there for input, very slight input, stuff like that. He fully designed the train stations, and these are awesome. These are fully blueprinted with some slight changes here and there. It is so cool. And then, as you can see, we have these big ramps and everything. These are all on the same axis as the main base of HQ, and this is all on the same axis as well. So if I were to, like, take this out, you can see it perfectly lines up there. Everything in the good part is pretty much lined up well, and then we just have some of this, which is the water. Like, this is, again, just... I wanted to just get some shit done. So anything with drones, anything with turbo fuel, anything with water packaging here, this was only done just in haste, and I don't give a shit feeling, because I wanted to just get something done really quickly while I was, like, tired. So like this packaging to do this stuff over there for the water and everything. It's horrible. Um, Ignore that, hopefully, but the rest of this is pretty good, except for that. This is all lined up really well. This was fully designed by me. Anything on the Milan Islands was like my work. The power grid was my work. Like I said, I did some stuff, but like really it was only like 10%. But yeah, I think this looks pretty nice. I never fully encased it, so it's not done. But this whole thing is exactly worked out, self-sufficient, fully popped off oil extractor, going perfectly into these, going perfectly into those, and then the resin perfectly coming and turning into plastic. And that is mainly going out to a couple projects over there, but any of the overflow is going into here, while it's also splitting off into there to be uploaded for personal use. And I think that might be the only place that plastic is getting uploaded, but it could be wrong. Everything is color-coded, as you can see. I'm really proud of this work here that I did. And this is just supposed to be one full factory. I'm supposed to, like, wall that in and everything. That's supposed to be fun. This here was originally empty until I started doing all the drone stuff, and then I saved this over here. Like, as you can see, this looks nice down here, right? No, because I was like, okay, I want to get some damn turbo fuel made. So, yeah, I just disgustingly went off of there, but this was supposed to be planned out. This platform was planned out to be the turbo fuel factory, and I just built it like this, sadly. And this is also making smokeless powder, and I have things like explosive rods and other things being built automatically at a different factory, and that's all getting flown off to wherever that needs to go. And then the actual gunpowder is coming in, as well as, I think that is that tubing? I forget what this is. Oh no, that's plastic that's getting sent out. That's what it was. But yeah, so like all this looks disgusting, obviously, like all the stuff that's built here, but the actual building itself was originally going to look pretty nice. This is another one of my poop chutes. And I have a whole section, I'll explain that in a second actually, but yeah, this is ignore that, ignore this. But this was pretty nice originally, without, you know, that little bit right there and it coming out. This was all clean, looked really nice, color-coded. Yeah. But I just ignored making things look really good. And then we have one of our buddies in there. Hi, friend. I thought I'd make him a little skate park. He's got his own little skateboard over there. But yeah, let me show you this poop chute. So the poop chute TM, this is poop chute A, and this is Milan Islands. And so inside the priority switch groups, this is the public transport. Okay. And so that's any of the drones, the poop chutes everywhere and stuff like that, and then the carports. And then we have any secondary factory that makes power as an offshoot, and then any primary factory that makes power. So, you know, those are the most important things, so they're going to go down last, right? And then we have, like, the things that we're using a lot of, like, iron stuff, basic iron stuff, and cement are in the more important out of the factory stuff, so those get shut down after anything else that's less important, like aluminum and things like that, which actually I think I changed the aluminum because now we need the sheets for tier 5s. But yeah, everything has all of its setup and everything. But yeah, this is all what I worked on. Just want to show you guys this, show you kind of like what the standard was before Fiber started playing with us. I think I did pretty good. Everything's mathematical, logical, efficient, and then there's the ugly bits, but mainly all of that is just because I stopped giving a fuck one day, and that's it. Like all this this is like stupid. This was just me trying to make more packaged fuel because we needed more packaged fuel for drones and stuff. So I just have like one thing down there. It's horrible. It's disgusting, and I'm running that at full power, so it's using 500 watts. It's horrible, and I apologize. Like I'm ruining this save a little bit, but yeah. So as you can see, we have the highway going everywhere, and the highways are for the cars as well as the trains, and they have the trains on the sides and everything in the middle. This was originally going to be the highway. This is what I built before Fibers joined, and we talked about setting up better stuff. So yeah, everything's like really straight and connected to the main HQ. This is the alumina factory. This also looked really nice. If you could see at the beginning, it looks really nice and is color coded and everything, and there's as many straight lines and angles as possible where possible. And I have walkways that go through the machines in a really nice way, and every single one of the ladders and walkways on the machines are accessible from the central walkways, and there's a, you know, I tried to make it look nice, and then I didn't have coal or anything come into this, and then I did have coal and bauxite come into this, and then I was like, okay, and this is the same day that everything started looking bad. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna make aluminum because we need aluminum for things, and it's making it, it's working, it's just really bad, and I have copper coming from a million miles away. It's disappointing, and I apologize to everyone. But yeah, it looked good before, and that's kind of where I was starting. And regrettably, or not so, I guess how you look at it, these types of builds are the reason that Fiber joined, because he had his own save where he was making everything look really, really good. And his whole thing was that on his save, he didn't build any factories or production or anything unless it looked perfect. And I was like, dude, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, look, I have everything all lined up, and like, you know, ignoring all this weird goopy shit and everything with the drones and the aluminum, right? It looked really good. He was like, okay, I'll join. And then we played like that for like a week, which was awesome, and then I fucked it up. But yeah, so want to just show that, and then I could show you one of the other things that I built. I have two more things to show you guys. So we're gonna go over to my coastal iron production. I'm gonna try to not look at HQ as much as possible. Ignore anything that you saw over at HQ. Any incorrectly placed pillars on the bridge, I assume Fibers will get that we'll get to that whenever he feels like it. Yeah, this is another one of the things that I 100% built and designed myself. The wiring is the only thing that's kind of weird. I could have done this differently, and you'll actually, if you noticed in the other factories, all the wiring is pretty much not visible in the actual good parts of the factories, and that's because I did everything in the floor, and I tried to line it up so that the coils on the stuff are like perfectly lined up with an edge. So what I would do is I would do a wall outlet like here, and then I would like perfectly line it up there, and it's like almost unnoticeable, right? Shit. What color is that? 1 second. No. What color is that? No. There we go. That's still not really right, but I'll fix it later. I will definitely remember to fix that later. Trust me. But yeah, this is the iron factory that I built. Still not fully done. And this is a lot bigger. So this was mainly one of the first things that I built that I really liked the look of, but I learned from and made things better, which is why in the other factories we don't have wires showing. There's a lot less walkway entrances and exits and ramps and stuff, which is like, I guess this looks really cool, but also I made things a lot more compact. So what I would have done, you'll see in the HQ, is each of these miners would be its own building, and then I would just have the buildings connect to their own way, so it looks like a collection of buildings, like a little town and everything, which was kind of what we ended up deciding to go for over time. Now I'm going to show you my production facility A, and ignore HQ as much as possible. This is one of the disgusting things that the randoms built. So as you can see, there's like nothing going on there. And then this is where I originally built my first setup, and it is horrible, and I have never made it look good. I just don't give a shit about this facility. But this facility is all mine, and it is very efficient. It just looks disgusting. It's like some Josh some Josh shit, man. If you know Josh, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, his would be 1,000 times worse, but this is literally, I don't give a fuck. The thing is going to the thing. Okay, good, that works. And this is producing pretty much everything that you can think of. That isn't actually, there is some aluminum stuff here. But yeah, it's like everything: steel, weaponry, iron, copper, quick wire. It's electronics. It's literally, it's producing everything in mass. And also uploading every single one of those important items. So this is where I think the majority of our Mercer series are. It's a bit insane if you look at how many dimensional storages there actually are in this area. So yeah. But this is where anything that we are building with and some of the very high level stuff like computers and things like that are going. And this luckily is disgusting and under our bridge, which was actually planned by us. And then we have our very first nuclear power facility over here, which is why I use this as a testing area. And we have our nuclear dump right over there. That's where the waste is going. Yeah, this is also the SAM stuff. And then this is one of the facilities, and I'm proud to say is something I worked 100% on by myself. It's not really painted or anything. There's other ones that are better. This doesn't have any windows or anything. But this is a cement facility. And it produces cement. A lot of it. It is really awesome. And this was one of the first one of these that I built. So I learned from making this. And then you'll see whenever I do the other ones, go to the other ones in HQ, then you can see how much better those are. Now I'm going to see if I can take us to the coal power facility, because that was also something that I designed entirely by myself with some slight changes and stuff like that from fibers and barracks. But the entire thing is pretty much my design. Like 98%, and then 1% from both fibers and barracks. Can I get this way without... Oh no, you guys are gonna see too much. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Okay, so this is the coal power facility. And as you can see, I kind of took a little bit... I'm trying to show you guys like the progression of how I built things, so you can see like how... like why things are built the way they are whenever I get to the HQ, which is where I did a lot of my best work. Milan Islands, I think, would be my second best, and then this is my third best, and then you obviously have all the garbage I didn't really care about. But yeah, this is the coal facility, and this is not very good, but it is efficient and looks better from the outside than, you know, up close. And Fibers did a little bit of stuff. He did like some pillars there for the piping to make it look better, and I think he's still working on it more. And then you have, we have the SAM over there, and I literally just have that going into a box. So there's a box of the SAM, animated SAM, and then it's getting uploaded. And I meant to put this on the same axis, and I didn't, and I don't remember why. I think I just wanted to make it look funny. But this is a blueprint of mine that I made, and it's called the battery for obvious reasons. It is just a fat fucking battery. I think this is something like 8,000 hours of 1 watt. Or 8,000 watt hours, kilowatt hours. I forget how you measure that, but yeah. It's pretty crazy. And there's a lot of stuff I could have done better here. Fibers was looking at it and trying to fix it up for me, and it's meh on my end, but it's better than nothing. We had it kind of all just floating. And then we have the entrance here because I didn't think of making a proper entrance. And I had, because I was still doing stuff up here and I didn't want to go down and look every time, I made these little screens just so I knew what each coal node was giving us. And we still actually have a lot of space for more coal to be used. The plan was to actually take that down to the main base for, coal power. But yeah, these are my blueprints inspired by Barricks's design when he was making stuff look really nice originally. But I actually blueprinted the whole thing and had his way of doing the conveyors on top of the piping, because the piping looks a lot better when it's just kind of sitting there. So having the conveyors go over looks really nice. But yeah, now I'm going to show you guys HQ, and I'm going to show you a couple things. And this is like the meat right here. This is the meat. This is some of the best stuff that Fibers has made, some of the best stuff that Barracks has made. And I know, like, you're going to see this is like 90% Fibers. I will point out everything that I designed and all his input and input from other people and stuff like that. And I'm going to try to go down everything. And this is literally the reason I'm making this video, because when I got on, I was doing some stuff over at the nuclear area, and then I flew with the poop chute all the way back over to my production facility A, which is the area that I showed you before here. And I was working there, and then I came to HQ to look at something in the hub, and I saw all the stuff that Fibers and Barracks works on, and I'm not sure everything that Barracks did, because I know he's been on a couple times, but mainly Fibers is the one that's worked on all this. And again, I'll point out everything I know for a fact that anyone but Fibers did, but anything you set your eyes on, Fibers had a plan or fully designed himself, and it is fucking awesome. And it's the reason I was like, again, I was just like, man, I gotta give my buddy credit, and I want to share it. People need to see how cool his shit is. I'm just so happy. I had to do that wall, by the way, because it kept sending me way the fuck down there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and come down this way. And now I can finally try to show you guys in its entirety Amazon HQ. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's not done. Obviously, pay no attention to the weird bearded man behind the curtain. And the first thing I'm going to show you is one of the things that I worked on. This is the Investment Bureau, the name and some of the coloring design and the sign design with the wave and stuff. And the fact that we use sulfur came from Fibers. A lot of the roof design was pretty much half and half between me and Fibers. We were both kind of just, flipping off of each other, and I don't even know which of us placed the last of which block, but we pretty much both worked on that half and half. The light design was half and half between me and Fibers, putting it inside there, so it kind of looks like it's coming out the side like that is really cool. Oh, wait, oh, some of these are supposed to be on nighttime only, and some of them aren't right now for some reason. That's really weird. That's actually, I never noticed that because I haven't been here during the day, because it lights up at night because all the lights turn on at night. Anything inside the glass, though, that was designed by Robin, my really good friend that you guys may know. Using two signs like this, that was Fibers' recommendation, and I designed it, so it was, again, half and half. And then Barrick gave us a lot of input on some things, but this right here, this is Fibers' idea. Having the ticket in the front like that, I think that was Robin's idea or Fibers' idea, I forget. Deposit here, me and Fibers' idea, doing it like this. This is my idea, doing it like this. I was trying to figure out what to do here, and then Fibers said, man, if only they had like a depot thing, and that gave me the inspiration to be like, oh, the door! I could do the door flip sideways, and then it looks like a depot box. It's so good. So anything that we put in here, if I take, let me see. So you can see right now we have 477 power shards, right? If I take some of the things that we've collected and I toss them in here. And then like, let's go ahead and do the meat and stuff I've been collecting too. And this was originally, this whole mechanism was designed by me and Robin. We worked together on that about half and half, but he did the whole thing making it look nice on the inside, making everything lined up, and then doing all the stuff on the top. But yeah, this, what this does is it takes anything that is a meat, anything that is a power slug. What I also want to add is I want to do another building that does meds. And the reason I don't want to add on to this is that'd make it a lot taller, and it looks really cool how it is right now. I really like how it looks. But yeah, it creates them how they're supposed to be. And we have the power shards just getting uploaded after we getting crafted, and they are also all multiplied, and then any meat gets multiplied when it turns into protein, and then the protein gets turned into alien DNA, and that gets multiplied, so any meat actually gets quadrupled and then turned into tickets. So yeah, and then all of the power slugs also get doubled, or whatever it is with the loops. And then we have our nice power down there. I did a lot of the geysers I went to around the map, which is why I have all these, and that's just a lot of power coming in. It's like 2,000, 3,000 power, something like that. And I'll go ahead and come down here now. There's going to be a lot of things that are broken. Obviously, we got like wires going through buildings and stuff. And then you're going to see some other weird placed things. And that's just because this is a big work in progress. But primarily these building designs and how they're actually set up as production facilities was my idea. Fibers took it upon himself to add more windows. Originally, I only had like a band for each floor. He did like this whole top bit. He did these overhangs and these extra bits on the side. So he did like, you know, that whole top bit, having the windows only be in the middle there, these like bands, and I did these bands here. He did these entire garage parts here for each of the buildings. So these are really cool. We 50-50'd on the road, but it was primarily his idea to do a road just between the buildings. And this way of having it like loop like this up here. I kind of wanted to just do one big continuous road going through the entire HQ area. So he did a lot of that. I'd say I only had a little bit of input. I'm going to wait on going that way because that right back there is the actual main reason that I was like, dude, I have to make a video. Because I was really just going to make a metal clipping and I was like, wait, I fucking can't. There's no way to do that. Like, there's too much to show. It's so cool. This whole area is designed by me. We have the hub lined up as well as we can. It looks a little janky, but it's still pretty good. And then we have crafting in here. And then in here we have another awesome shop, a MAM, 2 equipment workbenches, and then the entrance to the space elevator. Really cool. I like the design that I did for that. And then I did these buildings, pretty much all of the copper, iron, and cement I did. And I have, you know, these like signs and stuff indicating what's going on each building. These aren't on because I think they're backed up. But the insides should also all be powered. What? Huh? This has power. Why are the lights not on? What? Very confusing. These are all supposed to be lit up and I don't know why they're not. That's so sad. That's like the one thing that looked really cool that I made. Big sad. Oh wait, the cement one's working. I think that tree respawned in there somehow and that's really weird. Yeah, this is one of the cement towers. And I did cement was like yellow. Copper was green. And then iron is like a brown or red. And we have iron over there. Copper, cement. There's gonna be another cement tower on that one there. And then there's one way over there. But yeah, you can see this doesn't really have any expansion in it yet. Yeah, it's empty. There was, did I do one of these over here? I forget if I actually did any of the iron. I thought I did. Excuse me. Huh. I wonder if maybe he deleted it all because we didn't really need it anyways. Pretty sure I did one of those. That's weird. I know the copper is set up because that's all there. But yeah, he did like this whole thing on the top and then having the bridge in the middle. That's just so fucking cool. That is just so cool. I love that so much. So yeah, a lot of fibers design, and then he has this whole garage thing here, dude. It's so badass. He just did such a good job. And I don't even know what these are. I didn't even look at everything here. Oh, I think he has it. Is it just closed off? it's a fucking North Korean shop front. It's a fucking North Korean shop front. Oh my god, bro. Wait, are the other buildings like that too? That's so funny. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so like all these the wiring and stuff isn't really ideal, and then we have this thing just chilling in the middle going through buildings and stuff. This was fully fibers design here, the mega zoo. This is so cool. I think I literally had, I think it was over there, I just had a little building with some puppies in it, and he took that and ran with it because I kind of just had those everywhere. I just had, you know, everywhere there was a dog I'd set up like a little house for him so he'd be protected. This is like actually super cool. I love this. I imagine he's gonna put lights in this too, but that is so cool. It's just so cool. I haven't really looked at anything too closely because I saw it and I was like, man, I need to record this. Dude. Wait, what is this? What? Oh my god. Wait, what? How do I get in? Storage. It's a storage facility. Bro, fibers. That is so sick. Where does this go? Oh, does it just go around? He was asking me too. He's like, man, I want to get one of the big guys inside the zoo. And, he couldn't figure out how to do it. I was like, I mean, you have to hit him a lot of times. You could probably just smack one until it runs in and have a big opening. I don't think he succeeded, though. Or the server restarting might just reset them, which sucks. That is just so badass. Don't mind the massive wall of storage over there, because we tore down the entire HQ. Because this used to be one just massive open factory. We had a lot of items that we needed to store, and almost all of those boxes over there are full. It's kind of ridiculous. But we just like sifted everything into it, or siphoned. Look at this. Oh my god. That's where he has the radio tower. Dude. I like the corners with the caps. What are those things called? In the beam connectors. That's really cool. Luxy. I assume this is like an apartment building. Yeah. This dude, man. And then this was my... I actually looked up on Google, I was like, funny concrete, company names. So we have the concrete connoisseurs. And this is just producing concrete. You can't really access the floors like you can on the other concrete building. That's because I had the idea of it's like, you don't really care as long as you have the output, right? So it's whatever. Like, you don't need maintenance if it's working. That's the idea. We make these factories working at 100% efficiency, and then we just have the outputs. And that's like why a lot of the buildings don't really have multiple floor inches, and I think why Fibers did this as well, because it's just for decoration. It's the whole apartment complex here. Block D. Oh man, it's the Pint Suite, bro? He doesn't even have like the presidential suite like entrance. Come on, we gotta have like the actual presidential suite work. That's super cool. Yep. I just wanted to show off my buddy, man. This is my friend. This is how cool he is. I helped a little bit. Like, this whole design was his as well. I just gave some input because he didn't really know how the cars worked. But he pretty much did all this. Like, 99% of the car park is his idea. Or, I mean, his intellectual property, I should say. I don't know if any of this is blueprinted, though. I think he did it all by hand. And then we have, obviously, his amazing HQ train stations. And we have 2 train stations in HQ because we wanted input and output if possible. And for trains to be quickly going through to where they need to. We just need to do a lot of roundabouts to cut travel time. And I think we're going to eventually do that now that we've learned how to do circles, which you can see over there. It's really awesome. Look at that trust bridge, I think is the right terminology. But yeah, this, I think I'm going to try to show you guys how the highway looks, because it goes really far. The highway goes, actually, you can kind of just imagine it. You don't need to see it. The highway goes up here, all the way to here, and then cuts this way, and then down here, because there's oil and stuff here, and we're going to do another oil facility down there. And also because we have the steel that we're going to do over here, and we call it Riverside Steel, because it's by the river. I think I'm going to call it Bayside Steel, though, because that's technically a bay, not a river. But yeah, I mean, last thing to show you guys, this is Poop Shoot Tower. This had a lot of poop shoots going in different directions. This looked really good before we had to tear down the entire bottom. And then the top was where we ended up putting the blueprint stuff so we could do more blueprints. And this was something that Fibers was working on. This is our storage facility that we're going to make. And we're going to try... He needs me to work on this because I need to do all the conveyors and everything and set up each box. And we're going to have it so that we can just come up here and pretty much access any item that we would ever need. Really simple stuff, like obviously ores, ingots, stuff like that we're not going to have. But like aluminum shells, aluminum plates, iron plates, steel beams, all that, you know, all the things that you would actually use for building. Like if we needed something to make something, like an assembler or whatever, anything that we would need to actually make something, not make another item, but make an actual building or structure would go here. So that we would have access to that whenever we needed it. And the way I plan on doing that is with the smart splitters. And I'm going to have smart splitters go into every single box. And then have, it's like, see if I start here, for instance, it'll be like this. I think that'll work, right? Wait, no, that's not bad. So it'll be like this, and then we'll have, that's coming from the left, so it'd be left, would be like limiters. Well, actually, we wouldn't really need limiters, would we? Let's say copper sheet. And then going forward, we would have coming to the next one. And then this one would be copper wire. Let's say. Wait, where's... Okay, I don't know. Cable. Do we have cable? Why is that not alphabetical? Am I just blind? I don't see copper wire. Weird. And then that would go this way. And that's how it's going to go. And we're just going to have... And it's going to be so ugly. But we are going to have large... we're going to... Like, I'm going to do 2 belts going all the way around. So it's going to be just like another one of these here. And it's going to be the same thing. So, like, this one's going to be sheets, and then this one's going to be wire, and that's how it's going to be all the way around. So that if the belts get full, more things can pull through and then come in. And that should be fine, but the idea is to probably do either in the middle or a floor below. At the end of whatever line we have, because we're going to have, obviously, the start coming up from the bottom. The end, we're going to have a sink, and then any excess items will just go sink. And that should be perfect. But yeah, this is something we're working on, and I just wanted to show off everything. A lot of ugly that I made, that Barracks made, that all these random turds that were playing with us that don't give a shit about beauty were made. But me, Barracks, and Fibers all got together, had the idea, okay, efficiency, beauty, that's it, let's go. And that's like, you know, that's the requirements and the commitment. So we have like all these awesome things. And mainly the beauty has been Fibers, and I just wanted to show him off because he's my friend, and that makes me happy. And also the fact that I had anything to do with this amazing fucking map makes me so proud. I didn't expect this to be an hour, but as always, thanks for watching. Spread love, not hate. Love yourselves, love each other, and I love you. Bye.